Hello again everyone and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be going over the Skyblock 2024 Year in Review post, also including a bunch of information about what's going to be coming to the game in 2025. And trust me, you do not want to miss this video. Before we begin, make sure you like and subscribe down below if you haven't already done so, and join the Discord at discord.gg/Derailious. Without any further ado, let's get right into this. Starting off here, the admins begin this post by going over the fact that they have released 14 version updates this year, going from things like the fan changes to stuff like the Glacier tunnels, the Hoppity Chocolate Factory update, all the way to the Rift. And they state here, as you might have noticed, each year we strive to improve our release process. In 2023, we released updates every 3 weeks and learned a lot from it. First, we realized that we could maintain this schedule, and we also noticed that players were more engaged with frequent updates. However, internally we observed that the increase in quality of life updates was a result of this release pattern. We started to design smaller updates that we could bundle together to maintain the 3-week schedule. At the beginning of 2024, we knew we could maintain and even improve upon this schedule. However, we felt it was more important to focus on what truly matters, the big content updates. The admins continue by writing, our goals in 2024 were to release at least 1 update every month, release 4 major content updates during the year, and increase the quality of life updates. The first goal was successfully met. They released an update every month. The second goal was to release 4 major content updates: Glacial tunnels, the Foraging update, Better Mayors, and the Rift Mountaintop. They structured the entire year around these 4 content updates. However, their progress in terms of latest Minecraft technology took longer than expected, and they had to keep delaying the Foraging update. They did, however, use this time to add the new hunting skill to the Foraging update though. Although they failed to deliver all of these updates this year, they maintained the same level of expectations for themselves in 2025. And they also go on here to talk about what they feel about things like the Glacial tunnels, the Better Mayors, and the Rift Mountaintop update. Generally, they feel like their experiences with these updates were pretty good. However, they do want to focus more on other parts of the game than mining. They feel like mining is in a great state. Sad for all the people who do really love mining. The third goal listed here was that the more content that they add to Skyblock, the more they want to keep improving their existing content and raise it to new heights. They will always continue to make quality of life updates, but from 2023 on, they learned that they need to keep releasing major and minor content together at a solid pace. However, they also realized that they needed to enhance the quality of their quality of life updates. And I think they've actually met this requirement. They've done things like stackable god pots, supercraft, bazaar protection, tablist widgets, the artist's abode, and the museum overhaul, which I all thought were great. They've also done things like modernized mining, pest hunters wares, and the Crimson Isle QOL, all of which are great, and moving forward they will aim to include quality content even in their quality of life updates, which I am very excited about. Moving on to the What's Next section, the admins write, we hope you have noticed our progress year after year, and we promise to continue exploring ways to improve the quality of our release process. We aim to enhance the quality of our designs while maintaining a lower rate of bugs and dupes. We also strive to keep a consistent rate of large content updates and smaller quality updates, and finally, we want to improve our communication with the community. And they go over the things that they're currently working on, and some of the features that we can expect to see in 2025, the biggest of which being the Foraging update. For this section, the admins write, the first island of Galati has almost finished development along with the new hunting skill. This still has polishing and QA to undergo, which will take some time. However, this will be our first update to Skyblock, featuring some of the latest version features that they will slowly be implementing. This island focuses on exploring some of the vanilla latest version mobs, like axolotls, strays, and many others, as well as the new blocks, sounds, and particles that have been added along the way. They understand that our expectations for this update are probably incredibly high at this stage, and it will be hard to meet them. However, they believe it's the first major step into the future of Skyblock. Next up, they have the currently planned updates, and there is a lot here. The Great Glacial Lake, the Experimentation Table RNG Meter update, Project Iron Man W's, Year 400 Celebration, new Slayer content, Chocolate Factory version 4, and Year of the Seal. They actually go quite in depth about this, but if you do not want to see this information, this is probably where you want to click off the video. In terms of the future content, we have the Great Glacial Lake. When they originally released the Glacial tunnels in early 2024, they teased that the second part of that update, referred to then as Glacial Part 2, would contain some fishing content. At the time, it mostly contained more additions to the mining content within the tunnels. However, upon releasing yet another large mining update within the same year, they decided to put this update to the side for a while on account of many players feeling like too much of their recent content had revolved around that particular skill. Sitting on this update instead of releasing it gave them more time to reimagine it into what it could look like, and the Great Glacial Lake is the result of this. An update that focuses a lot more on fishing than the original Glacial Part 2, although there is still a respectable amount of mining content involved. And as you can see, here's a concept image of a level 300 Ancient Mariner, which drops some pretty interesting stuff, including submerged scrap. And as you might have come to suspect by the name and all, this update will revolve around the mysterious Glacial Lake currently found within the Glacial tunnels. A short list of some of the content that they're working to include in this update is found below, although it's worth noting that some of these things may not make the final release for a number of reasons. The Great Glacial Lake will have an offering system, and players can throw offerings into the lake, usually in the form of gemstones, and their next Glacial mineshaft is more likely to be of that gemstone type. There will be several new Glacial mineshafts, some of which will contain content outside of mining. Glacial sea creatures will be introduced, ranging all the way from common to mythic rarity, and the Great Glacial Lake will be the means through which you obtain your next super rare piece of equipment, following on from the Pendant of Devon. Very, very cool, and definitely exciting. Next, we have the Experimentation Table RNG meter update. They are also excited to announce that an update containing an RNG meter for the Experimentation Table is currently in development, allowing players to chase after specific enchantments that they desire. This update will also contain a number of quality of life changes to the table, such as a modernization of the rare loot tables that remove some of the less desirable enchantments from the pool, and add some of their new enchantment upgrading items, such as the Golden Bounty and Beginner's Guide to Pest Hunting. Expect to see more items of this type, referred to internally as endpoint enchantments, in the future. One important thing for players to know about this update is that while this RNG meter will allow players a way to guarantee certain enchantments, it will be relatively slow to fill. This decision stems from their design philosophy that enchantments should be primarily from an activity outside of the experimentation table wherever possible, and that the table should always instead be a slower second choice that takes longer but guarantees the drop. Going forward, they will be looking to add enchantments currently exclusive to the experimentation table as drops elsewhere in the game. I have talked about this a lot internally in streams and things like that. I feel like the way that the enchantments are currently set up, I think in a video a few days ago I actually talked about this, how the tier 7 enchants shouldn't actually be from the experimentation table, and it seems like they agree fundamentally, which I am really happy about. Next, we have Project Iron Man W's. There are a handful of significant improvements they want to make to the Iron Man game mode. The nature of a lot of these carries significant technical risk, so they are hesitant to confirm much at all, but we are much more comfortable sharing that we want to implement Iron Man exclusive Shen's auctions and a cosmetic auction house that Iron Man players can only buy from, linked directly to the primary auction house. So what that means, if I put up a skin on the auction house for 500 million coins and you're an Iron Man player, you'll be able to see that skin and you'll be able to buy it. That is very cool and very exciting. Moving right along, we have the Year 400 event. The admins write that they learned a lot from the Year 300 event and will be rerunning it for the Year 400 with key modifications to promote a more active and engaging experience for all. Raffle tickets are now primarily earned from completing IRL-time daily quests throughout Hypixel Skyblock. There is an easy, medium, and hard set of quests, so players can complete as many as they feel comfortable doing each day. A small minigame can be played, similar to the Jerry Island's gifting mechanic, which allows players to celebrate together by eating cake and earning more raffle tickets, as well as some exclusive rewards by doing so. Raffles will no longer be guaranteed to draw a certain number of a specific item reward. Instead, they will draw a specific number of a specific reward type, so there's no need to stay up for a particular raffle. Instead of dropping 25 Necron handles, for example, that same raffle in Year 400 will instead drop 25 major rewards, which can be anything from the major rewards loot pool, which includes items like the Necron handle, Devon's alloy, and so on. There's going to be a number of new items, both new and pre-existing, that will be added to the rewards pool, and the final compensation to all players who participated in the event will be greater. All of these changes, in my opinion, are great. This next one's a big one: new Slayer content. No new Slayers or levels of Slayers were released in 2024, and we don't want this to continue this trend deep into 2025. We currently have a number of Slayer content pieces lined up, some in the development stage, and others finishing up with design. How exciting. How exciting indeed. New Slayer content. That's all you have to say. I am very excited. Chocolate Factory V4. This is the last of the updates that were planned for the Chocolate Factory. It does not mean that it will be the last one, but it will end the planned cycle of updates for the Hoppity event. It only includes 3 major features: a Chocolate Factory RNG meter, which will allow you to get specific eggs you are missing; a new Rabbit Faction Tower, which will let you select a faction to find rare eggs that can be traded with other players. This tower aims at including the Chocolate Factory more into the economy, as some players will be able to trade their faction eggs to complete their collection without having to swap factions. A new unique tower that will let you get unique rabbits that will remain in your possession as long as you pay enough coins to keep them. This tower will be a coin sink for those who want to progress faster on the Chocolate Factory rankings. For everyone else, it will just be a nice boost of chocolate. Moving right along, we have the Year of the Seal. In 2025, we will introduce a new kind of event, ones that last entire Skyblock years. These events will be on a 12-year cycle, and would retroactively include the Year of the Pig event. While much smaller in scope compared to Mayor events, these events should make Skyblock feel more unique. The Year of the Seal would specifically have a focus on new fishing content. What other mobs would you like to see get events? Lastly, the admin's right. We won't spoil everything, but we're in the final stages of designing a multi-part garden update that adds new gameplay options and explores other areas of farming. We expect development to begin sometime in 2025. And lastly, they write, with the latest content, as previously explained, the Foraging update will be the first to utilize some features from the latest Minecraft versions. This means we'll be transitioning our releases to incorporate more and more features from latest versions. Our work on latest technology consisted of a major overhaul to our internal systems, from things like world saving and loading, to coding the new entities from the ground up. This update will serve as us getting our foot in the door towards the latest developments. However, we will not stop here. With other Minecraft Foraging Islands and also the major future content releases, we will be introducing other features from the latest Minecraft tech, like full custom models, resource packs, items, and display entities. This work is well underway, and we are excited to show some of the progress that we've made thus far. And we have some pretty cool resource pack menus here, which honestly look really, really nice. Incredibly excited to see this eventually get added to the game. In 2025, we also plan on releasing new zones that leverage these new features, including the second island of Galati, and another very special place and time that should not come as a surprise to lore enthusiasts. If you want my opinion, I think everything here is pretty par for the course, except for a couple things which I will go over. I think the Foraging update is bound to drop pretty much in the first few months of 2025. It seems like they're fairly close to being done with everything, and polishing and QA doesn't really scream to me like we're going to be waiting another year for this thing, which is very nice to see. The Great Glacial Lake looks like a great update for people who enjoy fishing content, and I definitely need to get into fishing content, so this seems like a good place to start. I'm excited about the Experimentation table RNG meter. Their ideology about moving the enchantments to other parts of the game is great. I love this stuff. Generally, it seems really nice. Iron Man W's kind of shocked me. I think making a major change to the Iron Man system is going to turn a lot of heads, and I'm excited to see how this comes out. Hopefully, a lot of players really do like it. The Year 400 event being better than the Year 300 event is going to be super cool. I'm excited about this. I don't really have much else to say. It's just a cool event. New Slayer content is the other thing that's really shocked me on this list. I'm excited for new content in this fashion. Slayer stuff is always great. I think that they always do a great job on it, and I'm excited to see what we actually get, whether that be new levels or new Slayers in their entirety. Chocolate Factory V4 just seems good. I mean, there's going to be a new RNG meter for it, which means people will finally be able to get the Divine Rabbit Eggs, which, come on, they needed to do this like a year ago, but I guess it's fine that we're getting it now. Year of the Seal seems kind of funny. I don't know how they're going to incorporate that. I don't know, it seems like kind of a weird conceptually, concept here, but I don't know, maybe we'll see a bunch of other animals get their own little events associated with them. and we might see some, pretty fun content with that. Another garden update kind of made me fall asleep at the end there, but regardless, I think everything looks great. New resource pack menus look great as well. I think this stuff is really, really nice. I would love to hear your thoughts. And also at the second island of Galati in the same year. Hold on, admins, don't promise too much. And also another very special place in time. I imagine this is going through the breach of some sort. Great stuff here, just really exciting. I think this has kind of reinvigorated my hope that Skyblock is going to be around for years to come. They have a lot planned. We'll see how they capitalize on their current momentum, but hopefully they're able to do so because this all looks very great. Wrapping up here, I would love to hear your thoughts down below about how you feel about any of these planned updates or pretty much anything else they've said here. I personally am very excited. At the end of the day though, my name's Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.